What's going on? I'm back at the park because I'm real hyped that the front crook video got a lot of love, but I'm also hyped I was able to figure it out. And I kind of feel like I'm on a little bit of a hot streak with this one, so I'm gonna try to test something else out and see if it really works. Maybe the front crook was just lucky, maybe I actually got something going on with it, but today I'm gonna try a trick that is my absolute favorite trick that I still cannot do, and that is switch backside tail slide. I'm gonna go over there, get my socks on, and kind of take a second to predict what exactly could possibly be going wrong and test out my theories. And hopefully by the end of the video, I can slide the whole ledge, or at least half. This one, I'm gonna say my goal really is actually gonna be half, because I think saying sliding the whole ledge as a goal might be a little bit of a big goal, but I'm gonna try my best. Hopefully I can get towards 75% of the ledge. Hopefully I can get to 100% of the ledge, but I'll take 50 today. By the way, this is not an ad, this is just my favorite chair. Look how crazy this shit is. Ready? Alright, so, switchback tail. Fuck, what a hard trick. This right here is my hypothesis. So the one thing I always notice with this trick is when I try to get into it, I don't know if it's the angle I take or if it's just the way I have my feet placed, but like when I try to ollie into it, my board wants to almost like kind of half flip. It almost feels like I'm trying to do switch flip back tail without actually trying to flick. I think one of my issues is my foot placement. I think that's gonna be key in figuring this one out. I think my angle is the second problem I'm having. I think I need to take a little bit of an angle, but naturally, because I don't really know how to switch ollie into this trick, I always try to go at too harsh of an angle, and I think I just like slam into the ledge and then I don't go anywhere. Sometimes I feel like the angle I take is a little too harsh and I almost have to like switch back 180 completely into it. So I think my angle is my second problem. My third problem is where my feet are on the board when I'm landing in switchback tail. I feel like I need to have more pressure on top of the ledge, and that's a little tricky because I'm not a big no slide person, like front side or backside. So I think maybe if I apply a little bit of what I learned in the front crook by kind of like pushing down on my toes, maybe that could help with this one too. So those are my three guesses of what I'm doing wrong, but I'm gonna get over to the ledge and I'm gonna try to see if I'm right or wrong. I'm gonna start the same way on this ledge and try to figure out how I gotta get in. I think a good place to start for me though is doing front no slide stalls, I guess, because like that'll kind of show me like where my balance point is in that trick. I know it probably doesn't make sense right now, but let me just work it out in my head. Alright?
Yeah, I've been trying to practice the ollie thing.
Yeah, you got it. So if I think about how I get into back tail foot switch, my foot, I feel like my foot's gotta be here. But it's always hard for me to get myself to be like right on top of it like that. So I feel like I gotta go at that type of angle. I think the only way I'm gonna be able to figure this out is going at speed. So I'm gonna do a full speed one and kind of start from there because I feel like stalling this is not really helping that much. I'm gonna switch to this ledge because I feel like it's a better ledge to try it on. So if I compare it to how I back tail, I kind of would like be like right here. Alright, I'm liking a little bit more of a parallel approach. I feel like if I go a little more parallel, I can just rely on ollieing up and in rather than trying to like scoop further when I take a harder angle.
You got it.
Thanks.
More try, more confidence.
That's right. So now I like the angle that I'm taking, but I think the next problem I'm having is where my shoulders are. So I almost feel like I need to swoop my shoulders around a little bit. So I think that's gonna work. Like swoop my shoulders around, kind of get that same like not too much of an angle, not so parallel. So now I feel like that brings me to my third problem. That's where my feet are when I land in the back tail. So angle, shoulders, that'll get me in. Where my feet are, it's gonna keep me in. I gotta fix that part. I have this feeling that something about where my head is looking, or the way that my head turns when I get in, I have a feeling that that's part of my problem. Even though that looked kind of bad, I feel like that was the best turn in I got. So I think me being a little afraid was preventing my neck from moving to where I needed to turn the other way and kind of look like down at my feet and behind me. I think that's the key. That's like the last little bit of commitment I need, and I feel like things will get easier. My neck not turning was preventing me from actually getting into a back tail. I think I could at least land a short one with that. Take the angle that's not super harsh, but not completely parallel. Turn my right shoulder in with my neck and press down on what would be my tail for switchback tail as hard as I can. And I feel like it'll just work. That's literally it. That was it. All I gotta do now is just clean it up. I'd say that was probably about 30% of the ledge. My goal is to do about 50 or more, but that made me a lot more confident. I put you guys over there so that my head has a place to aim for. Where you guys are positioned is kind of where my head needs to turn to. So I'm gonna keep that in mind and use you guys as kind of like a point of reference to where my head needs to turn and look at. I like that. I feel like you guys being right there gives me a good kind of just place to look towards. At least not like look directly at, but you know what I'm saying. Like my head needs to be this way when I'm on back tail, because if I'm looking at you like this, or at least my head is this way, my shoulder's gonna come this way. So I like this. That was good, but I could have turned my shoulders and my head a little bit more. I think that's where I went wrong. So this felt really good. And I feel like the head thing was a part of the problem, but another thing I realized is when I ollie in, I didn't try to ollie in like real crazy, like try to pop real hard or whatever. Just did it real gently. And I almost thought about where does my body need to be when I get in a switchback tail, not so much all the things before that. It's like I pop my board, as long as I get a good pop and I turn my body into what my body thinks I need to do for a switchback tail, the board is usually kind of there. So I just trust that the board is under my feet, and that really helps. This is the furthest I've got with this trick. I usually kind of get like a weird one and I stop. Same, similar situation with front crook or like any other trick that I kind of have but I'm kind of scared of. This one, I think it's about the light approach. Good angle, good pop, good shoulder movement. Head turns to make your shoulders turn. Lock it in and let it happen. I'm gonna do one more like that at the edge. I'm gonna start working my way back to the front of the ledge and see how much I can get. If I can get halfway today, I'll be stoked. If I can get more, it's just a bonus. Feeling pretty confident with at least my ability to get in and jump off if I have to. So now, this is my mark. Just like a line in the middle of the ledge. I'm gonna try to pop right around there. That'll be considered my halfway mark. I'm learning that the hardest part about this trick is ollieing into it. Everything else isn't too bad, but once you get the ollie in, you kind of can like at least get to the same spot. But if you don't know how to do any of that, it's like, it almost feels unrealistic to try this trick. And honestly, that's why I haven't tried it, because my switch ollie in was always so bad that it felt unrealistic to even progress. more than half the ledge is really scary because not really sure what to do if I bail over there. So some of these might get a little weird, but I'm just gonna put my faith in what I learned. I'm gonna try to clean that up. That felt really great. I gotta remember everything I learned. A little bit of an angle. Head turned, shoulders turned. Light ollie, hard press in a switchback tail. I struggled on that one. That's all right. It's probably the longest switchback tail I've ever done. Got to figure out how to do everything I just did to keep my body weight over here. That one I definitely felt like I was about to drop in the side of the ledge, but close. I'm close. I feel like I still need 2 good ones, like proper switchback tails. I'm almost there, but not quite. So that's it. That was really hard to do. I've avoided doing that trick for so long, but I'm happy that I took the time to do it today, and I'm happy that I documented what I needed to do to figure it out. My original prediction, I think, was my shoulders, my angle, and my foot placement when I got into the back tail. But what it turned out to be was a lot more of just where my head was turning, or not turning rather, because that helped my shoulder turn with it. It had a lot less to do with me controlling my ollie to get in and using power, and a lot more of me just like kind of finessing my ollie into the back tail, waiting for my body to get over the ledge, and then pressing down as hard as I could and locking into a switchback tail. So once I figured that out, all I would do is just ollie in, turn my head a little bit, my shoulder would come with, and then I would just try to like get my body into a position to do the switchback tail, and my board would usually be there. So my prediction was kind of correct. There were some things to that, but mainly it was just my ollie and it was the way I turned my head. That made so much of a difference, and I think that's what I needed to do to figure out this trick. This one was a bit of a struggle, but I think I made headway with this trick, and I definitely want this one in the bag. So if you got any tips, if anyone really knows how to do this, if it's your thing, please let me know the secret, because I'm searching for it. I think I got an idea, but I'm always down to learn. If you guys like this one, please comment below, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. As always, until next time, peace.